Yes, that would be me, ladies and gentlemen, and a pleasure to welcome you all back. A pleasure to welcome back Mary Matalin, who, along with her husband, James Carville, have authored the book that I hold in my hands here. It's called Love and War, 20 Years, 3 Presidents, 2 Daughters, and 1 Louisiana Home. And I believe the way this is going to work is we're starting with Mary?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
I'm all confused. You got to help me here.
Because we've tried to do things together, and other than making children, it doesn't usually work out that well. No one would get a word in edgewise.
So we're going to do one interview at a time, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
You can torture him in the way I know you're capable of doing, and you and I can just have a love fest.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Well, first of all, like I said, welcome back. I got a question, though, about the 3 presidents, unless I'm a moron. You, Reagan, and both Bushes. And he, Clinton. So shouldn't it be 4 presidents?
You know what? That would have kind of wrecked the symmetry of the title, don't you think?
Let's see. 20 years, 3 presidents, and 2 daughters. 23, 2, 1.
Okay, I guess we could have done that.
Yeah,
I didn't really care about the title.
Oh, okay. But there were 4 presidents involved, right? I'm not going crazy.
There were, actually,
okay.
Now that you're saying that. So when we reprint, and since we just found out yesterday that we made the New York Times bestseller,
congratulations,
list,
that's great.
Reprint, we'll change the title. How's that?
All right, as long as I get a little kind of somewhere mentioned, like, or a little, you could pull your ear while you're changing the title, like Carol Burnett or something.
There you go.
Anyway, great to talk to you again, and I do look forward it'll be the first time I'm actually speaking to your husband in a few minutes. But, man, I mean, tell me your take on this. And, you know, we find out today that they don't even know. We knew this, but under oath, I mean, they don't even know. They say 6 million people signed up for Medicare. The guy in the Washington Post who gives the Pinocchios, Glenn Kessler, we had him on, and he says the Medicare portion of that is a lie. They don't even know how many people sent in a check. They have no number to give us on how many people actually paid as opposed to signing up. So it's like you went shopping, you put it in your cart, but they don't know if anybody bought it. Every turn, everything is a mess. I mean, I've never been so frightened for this country in my life, because no matter what topic I bring up to you, it's the world turned upside down as we, under those great presidents you worked for, have known it. And I don't know if we could turn back.
And I'll tell you, what frightens me is that in every single instance, that or today's announcement on the NSA, I didn't know that. The president, I didn't know.
Nothing.
He
knows nothing.
5 years, he doesn't know squat. I don't know if does he know where the bathrooms are? However, having said that, and this is why I was motivated to do a book. After doing the other one with James 20 years ago, I said it's like giving birth without an epidural. I'd never do it again. But Americans know how to self-govern. Americans and the founders knew what federalism was, and solutions and power had devolved to the locales, to states, to cities, and the job is getting done. Let them stay gridlocked up there. This was never going to work. So then I'll say the third thing I always say to you, which is the first thing I say. I don't know why Republicans can't be more clear-throated, more loud and proud about the Ryan plan for health care reform, or health savings accounts, or associated health care plans, or innovation, or tort reform, or the myriad pieces that go into this very complicated structural debt reform that needs to happen. Or you're right, we're not going to be the same country. Was it this week? I've been on the road, so I'm confused. But this week we fell off the top 10 most free economies in the world. We're not.
Yes,
on the,
right. We're not on the list.
We're not on the.
We weren't on that list. Yeah, apparently. That's it. I know. It's just crazy. Let me just ask you: is the demagoguery going to win out in 2014? Because all they have to run on is the unemployment extension and also the minimum wage. That's all, unless something else happens between now. You and I have talked about over and over. The Republicans, how about they respond and say, excuse me, during the shutdown, it was Harry Reid and Obama who wouldn't help kids with cancer by bringing up for a vote the bill to demagogue us, but they don't demagogue back. They don't, not even demagogue, they don't even tell the truth back.
Well, 2 things we have to remember about midterms. They're high intensity. They're lower turnout but higher. This will be just like the previous midterms, where the people who are really informed about policy, not the low information voters, as Rush has aptly named them, will be coming out in droves. The problem with demagoguing back.
Well, not down. See, I misstated it. Yeah, just tell the truth back.
Here's what Republicans do, and I've learned this over 20 or 30 years of doing it. You spend so much time defending a position you don't hold that you don't get around to giving the position that you do hold. So you should do. There's a way to do a quick eye rolling. That's a lie. You were the ones that blah blah blah.
Right.
You just said,
and
here's
move
our
on.
position.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they don't know how to roll their. They don't know how to roll their eyes even.
They're not. Yeah, sarcasm is not a big conservative.
They don't even know how to roll. Listen, I could talk to you for the rest of the hour, but I don't want to. I have a hard break to go to in about 7 minutes. I want to get at James. So. Great talking to you, and when you're in New York, please, let us know and stop up, and we'll talk about the book again and everything. But I want to talk to James.
James is I'm going to put him on, or he's going to call you on a different.
No. I think you're putting him on.
All right, hang on. Here he comes.
Yeah. Okay.
Jimmy. James, honey, thanks. He just bought me a pair of pantyhose, so he's very proud of him.
That is it.
Let's see if he got the right size. There's little butt or big.
By the way, happy Michelle's 50th birthday day.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about that. James. Well, apparently I think he's going to go out in the hall and call you. So
all right.
You're going to have to go to your soft break.
Okay.
And,
well, we can't do that, but we could hang up, and I'll just talk about the book that I have in my hand again, and hopefully he'll call right away.
I'll track him down.
All right. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, Mary Matalin, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're waiting for James Carville to call in. I hope he calls in. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I'm really not sophisticated enough. I don't know why he wasn't in the room where we could have just handed him the phone. But hey, am I smart or am I smart? It says 20 years, 3 presidents, 2 daughters in a Louisiana home, when in fact it's 4 presidents. Now, I just picked up on this. Yeah, I'm not, I don't go around analyzing the titles of books, but it seems strange to me since there were 4 presidents, they only wrote about 3 of them. Now, what am I going to get? Now I'm going to get like a minute and a half with James Carville. Is that going to be it? Oh, no. Has he called? Not yet. Okay. All right, folks. Anyway, it is amazing. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they stay married. Marriages are, you would think marriages are tough enough with 1 out of every 2 couples getting divorced, that when 2 people are so diametrically opposed in their political beliefs, and according to the book, which is, by the way, Love and War, the Gore v. Bush, or Bush v. Gore, the ballot count in 2000, they didn't talk for a while after that. That put them on non-speaking terms. They really had problems with each other then. And then it wasn't until after 9/11, the attacks of 9/11, that they came together again and made up or resumed a normal relationship for the 2 of them. So it's got to be tough. Imagine, you think you're with somebody, preferably that you agree with, you're like-minded, and certainly about your passion. And if your passion is politics, it's really got to be difficult, I would imagine. So kudos to them for persevering in their marriage and making it work. I don't know. I know I'd be told if he called in. I'm just a little disappointed that he hasn't so far. I mean, he brought the pantyhose. He brought the pantyhose. He was there. Why he couldn't have picked up the phone, I don't know how that works. Maybe, they have, instead of separate bedrooms, maybe they have separate phones. Maybe that's how the marriage, maybe there's different kind of offshoots of marital arrangements. I don't know. But I will say this. There's a story here that I want to hit James up with in the 3 minutes I'd have left with him at this point, which is unfortunate. The number of able-bodied adults without dependents, okay, single people, able-bodied adults, no dependents, receiving food stamps went up from 1.7 million to 3.9 under Barack Obama from fiscal year 07 through 010. In that same period, food stamp recipients in total grew from 26 million to 40 million. From 26 to 40 million. My God, what kind of nation are we becoming? And folks, is it not self-evident? Is it not apparent? Is it not blatantly obvious? Does it not smack you in the face that Obama, whatever it is he's doing, whatever his policies are failing miserably, are failing to the point where it is frightening for the future of this country. From 27 to 40 million from fiscal year 07 through 010. 26 to 40, and able-bodied Americans, no dependents, from 1.7 to 3.9 million people. It's frightening. It's insane. It's really insane. And do you see it turning around? I don't see it turning around. I see it getting worse. The handouts, the dependency, the Obama phones, you name it. And it's through this culture of dependency, the dependency on government, the lowering of expectations for what the American dream should be and is, as the Obamas talk to kids, talk to college students. That's what's sabotaging the future of our nation. You don't want high school kids and college kids and kids in the lower grade to say, I want to grow up to have a roof over my head. I want to grow up to have a decent job. No, you want them to shoot for the stars, to think that the sky's the limit. But this president and this first lady, as they go around and talk to youngsters, they don't talk about that. It's as if that's bad. That's selfish. That's not who America is. You know, you must serve the greater good. Everything you do must benefit everybody. You know what I'm saying? You hear what? You know what it's a completely different feel. So when I say President George Bush, as I said in the other segment, when I say, oh my God, that sends a chill up my spine, that makes me long for the days when he was president, I mean it. It's not an act. It's not shtick. I'm not playing. I have a son. I want him to grow up in an America, the America I grew up in. When it comes to chance, to get ahead, to live a good life, to improve oneself, to better oneself, to reach for the stars, to have freedom. And we're not headed in that. We're headed in the complete opposite direction. Okay, folks, I don't know what they pulled with Carville, but we'll get them. We'll get them. Christina Hoff Sommers will join us next. Final segment of the Friday edition of the Steve Malzberg Show, right here on Newsmax TV and radio.
The Steve